and I'm a feminist. Honestly, I believe that we should all be feminists.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I am not a feminist, and I simply disagree.
But before you X out of this video for fear of me trying to convert you into an Amazonian warrior who burns bras and who dances on the graves of men as a hobby.
Too bad. That would have been an argument that could possibly sway me. But let's hear what you have to say anyway.
I want to let you know that that's not what feminism is.
And I suspect you're going to try and educate me on what feminism actually is.
Feminism is equality of all people. Equality between men and women, regardless of gender, of race, of skin color. The list is endless.
Oh, so feminism is for equality because dictionary. That's a new argument. I'll write that one down.
So, all those negative thoughts you had about feminism, they're all wrong.
Oh, so what I've been seeing right before my eyes and what feminists have been saying to me for the years I've been discussing this has all been my imagination. Well, that's interesting.
Feminism is simple. I've been a feminist for as long as I can remember, so I should know. I've done my research, and I got the t-shirt.
Actually, if you'd done your research and not no true Scotsman's your way through life, you would realize that feminism doesn't practice what it preaches.
I chose to do this speech because the brilliant Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie,
bless you,
convinced me through her speech that truly we should all be feminists.
If you have felt what I've felt and seen what I've seen thanks to feminism, you would know why I and the vast majority of the world disagrees. For the sake of brevity, I will link to the rest of the speech down below if you want to hear it in its entirety. And after hearing your speech, it inspired me to write one of my own. With the outstanding music in the background, I will have to compose something for the occasion. The biggest problem is that you believe that feminism is defined by the dictionary, and that somehow a definition is supposed to define an ideology. This is false. Feminism is defined by its actions. You gave what I call a lip service speech, similar to what Emma Watson did in the UN in September of 2014. I will now post the actions of what mainstream feminism is doing, and it's nowhere near equality, like you claim it to be. He for she, it's on us, and White Ribbon are all campaigns that vilify men, telling them they are victimizers and that they need to protect women and girls, expecting no commitment in return. Even when studies show women are more likely to use a weapon when it comes to domestic violence. But this isn't discussed. Women hit men, and yet women are left out of the commitment to take action against domestic violence. This is not equality. I'm not saying men get it more than women, but clearly there's an injustice here that feminism is not addressing. When you can clearly see how society acts when a woman gets beaten and how quickly men rush to their aid, but when a man gets beaten then society just looks at the man as if he did something wrong to deserve it. You hear the chant, "You go, girl." These campaigns do nothing to address this. There may be individual feminists that think this is an injustice and a conversation that needs to be had. Well, feminists, today is that day. When feminism starts addressing domestic violence and realizing that this is a gender-neutral problem and not a women's issue, we can discuss equality. Teach men not to rape is probably the most sexist thing I've ever heard, and it's thanks to feminism that men are all regarded as potential rapists. The movement that is supposed to be for equality creates a slogan directed at such a small minority of the male population that it isn't even an accurate representation of the gender. It's not even an accurate stereotype, as only 3% of the male population are rapists. So no, feminism isn't for equality. Because if feminism was for equality, they would fight the fringe that comes out with slogans such as this. Would you then justify a campaign that says teach blacks not to steal, or teach women not to kill their children? But you will allow feminism to get away with a slogan like this, teach men not to rape. When you see feminism pushing for more and more women to go to school and pushing for more and more women-specific scholarships, and men are lacking in every category, please tell me how this is equality. When you have feminists marching in front of schools when a victim simply says that she was a victim of assault or rape, everyone is to just listen and believe. The victim says it, so it must be true. This has hurt the Duke lacrosse players, this has hurt the fraternity at the University of Virginia, and I have about 10 other cases where men were never given their due process simply because the victim said it. If this is what equality is, if this is what feminism acts like, then no, I am not a feminist. And if you insist that feminism is just the meaning of equality between the sexes, I suggest looking at what your movement is doing instead of reading a definition in a book. So no, we are all held accountable for our actions. We should look at what the movement is doing before sticking a label on ourselves and pretending that it means equality, when clearly, when the movement acts, it acts in the interest of women and inequality. You can believe in equality without being a feminist. I am not a feminist.